PM Modi awarded Grand Cross of the Order of Makarios III. After 2 decades, a new chapter in India-Cyprus relations. Karnataka achieved over 1,331 megawatts of energy in the financial year 2024-25, a step in the right direction toward the national target for 2030. First meeting of the International Big Cat Alliance held in New Delhi. Representatives from 9 countries attended the meeting, raising concerns about the conservation of big cats. Second monthly periodic labor force survey report released, the unemployment rate for individuals aged 15 and above increased, with seasonal factors cited as the reason for the rise. Successful test of unmanned aerial vehicle Rudrastra. The drone capable of destroying enemy targets without making a sound was successfully tested. It was developed by the Solar Aerospace and Defense Limited. Recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi made a historic visit to Cyprus. During this visit, he was honored with the country's highest civilian award, the Grand Cross of the Order of Makarios III. This is a senior knighthood honor awarded by Cyprus, named after the first president of Cyprus, Archbishop Makarios III. Prime Minister Modi is visiting Cyprus at a time when there has been a strain in relations between India and Turkey. There has also been a dispute between Turkey and Cyprus. Modi's visit to Cyprus is being viewed in the context of strong relations between Pakistan and Turkey. This is the first visit of an Indian Prime Minister to Cyprus in 2 decades. Cyprus is an island nation located in the eastern Mediterranean. It lies south of Turkey, west of Syria, and northwest of Israel. The country is home to both Turkish and Greek communities who have had a long-standing ethnic dispute. In 1974, after a coup attempt by Greek soldiers, Turkey's military invaded the island and subsequently, Turkey took control of the famous city of Varosha in Cyprus. India has continuously appealed to Cyprus to follow the United Nations Security Council resolutions, which include the request to withdraw foreign troops from Cyprus. Additionally, India has condemned Turkey's action in northern Cyprus on several occasions. Recently, Karnataka recorded an unprecedented growth in wind energy capacity in the financial year 2024-25. The state added more than 1,331 megawatts of new capacity during this period, making it a leading state in India for wind energy capacity. Currently, the state's total installed wind energy capacity has reached 7,351 megawatts, making Karnataka the leader in wind energy production in India. The state government has planned to install an additional 17 gigawatts of wind energy capacity, of which 5 gigawatts will be set up under the Renewable Energy Cluster Program. Additionally, more than 20 substations, a 400 kilowatt electric corridor, and a renewable energy reserve zone are being established. This achievement was awarded to Karnataka on the occasion of Global Wind Day 2025, with a theme Pavan Urja, powering the future of India. This milestone is a crucial step towards India's national goal of achieving 500 gigawatts of renewable energy by 2030, with 100 gigawatts to come from wind energy. For your information, India ranks 4th globally in installed wind energy capacity. It also is the 3rd largest renewable energy producer in the world. Among India's renewable energy sources, solar energy holds the largest share, followed by wind energy. Recently, the first meeting of the International Big Cat Alliance was held in New Delhi. The meeting was chaired by Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change. This was the highest meeting of the IBCA organization. A ministerial delegation from 9 countries participated in the meeting, including Kingdom of Bhutan, Kingdom of Cambodia, Kingdom of Eswatini, Republic of Guinea, Republic of India, Republic of Liberia, Republic of Suriname, Federal Republic of Somalia, and Republic of Kazakhstan. It is noteworthy that the Assembly unanimously approved Bhupender Yadav as the President of IBCA. The Assembly also approved SP Yadav as the Director General of IBCA. The International Big Cat Alliance is a multi-country, multi-agency coalition of big cat range and non-range countries. Its objective is to conserve 7 big cats and their habitats. This idea was first proposed by India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2019. Officially, it was launched in April 2023 during the 50th anniversary of Project Tiger. This initiative focuses on the conservation of 7 big cat species, namely tiger, lion, leopard, snow leopard, cheetah, jaguar, and puma. Among these 5 species, tiger, lion, leopard, snow leopard, and cheetah are found in India. Recently, the Indian rat snake may be declared the official reptile of Kerala. It is important to note that the global population of this species is declining. This non-venomous snake could be included in Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act, offering it the highest legal protection. Regionally, it is known as Manjachera and Karinchera. The rat snake is also referred to as farmer's friend. This species is found in most parts of the country, including the Andaman Island. It is noteworthy that this species is commonly found around human settlements. The rat snake plays a significant role in controlling population of rodents like rats, which cause damage to agricultural crops such as grains and tubers and spread infectious diseases. The rat snake is carnivorous and even preys on the young of venomous and dangerous snakes like the cobra. The rat snake lays several clutches of up to 18 eggs annually. It is a large-sized snake and in some regions it is used as food, especially in the northeastern Thailand, Laos PDR, Cambodia, and Vietnam. However, this species may be at risk due to its excessive exploitation for food, skin, and medicinal purposes. Recently, the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation released the second monthly periodic labor force survey report. According to the report, there has been a significant increase in the unemployment rate in India for May 2025. The unemployment rate rose from 5.1% in April to 5.6% in May. Seasonal factors are cited as the main reason for this increase. According to the data, the unemployment rate for women increased from 5% in April to 5.8% in May, while for men, it rose from 5.2% to 5.6%. Geographically, rural areas saw a greater increase in unemployment, with the rate rising from 4.5% in April to 5.1% in May, while the increase was less in urban areas. The reason for this increase includes seasonal agricultural patterns, particularly the harvesting of the rabi crop and high temperatures, which reduce agricultural activities and decrease the number of workers. Additionally, a decline was observed in the labor force participation rate and the worker population ratio. The LFPR decreased from 55.6% in May to 54.8%, and the WPR for individuals aged 15 years and above fell from 52.8% in April to 51.7%. Recently, the Center for Development of Telematics has launched the Samarth program. This is a state-of-the-art incubation program for startups in the telecommunication and ICT sectors. It has been initiated under the Development of Telecommunications, Government of India. In the first phase, 18 startups were selected through a competitive process. The program is structured into 2 groups of 6 months each, and a maximum of 36 startups can be supported under this initiative. Software Technology Parks of India and TIE have been selected as the implementation partners for the program. It is noteworthy that the Government of India is actively working to promote startups in the country. The Startup India initiative was launched in 2016 for this purpose. This is a government program that supports entrepreneurs and startups in India. The objective of this initiative is to create a strong ecosystem for innovation and entrepreneurship. It is also worth mentioning that India is now the 3rd largest startup ecosystem globally after the United States and China, with over 100 unicorns. A unicorn is a startup valued at over $1 billion. Recently, the Indian Army successfully tested the unmanned aerial vehicle Rudrastra. Its main objective is to carry out deep strikes on enemy artillery or terrorist hideouts. It is worth mentioning that the Rudrastra drone has been developed by the Solar Aerospace Defense Limited. It is a hybrid vertical takeoff and landing drone, which means that it can take off directly upwards without any runway and also can land easily. This drone incorporates modern technologies and is equipped with smart warheads for anti-personnel roles, allowing it to target enemy soldiers and hideouts with precision. The range of Rudrastra is over 50 kilometers and it has a stable and real-time video link, allowing it to be observed directly and aimed at. Once airborne, the drone can stay in air for up to 1.5 hours. After completing the mission, it safely returns to its launch point. Its total operational coverage is more than 170 kilometers. Recently, a team of researchers identified a new species of jumping spiders from the Spartani subfamily in southern India. This species has been named Spartagus karigari. It is worth mentioning that the name was given after Elephant Hill in Devarayanadurga, Karnataka, where the spiders were first observed. In addition to Karnataka, samples of this species have also been found in Villupuram district of Tamil Nadu. This spider is known for its hunting skills and attack strategies. Previously, the species was only known in Southeast Asia and Africa. For the first time, it has been observed in southern India. Notably, these spiders belong to the Salticidae family. With this discovery, the number of spider species in India under the Spartani family is increased to 15. It is also important to note that spiders are arthropods with 8 legs. Spiders are found on every continent except Antarctica. Spiders produce silk-like structures from specialized glands in their bodies, which they use to spin webs. These webs are used by spiders to trap their prey. India has recently launched an exercise called Cyber Suraksha on a large scale by the Indian Ministry of Defence's Defense Cyber Agency. The exercise, which started on June 16, will run until June 27, 2025. The primary objective of this exercise is to strengthen national cyber resilience. It is designed to simulate real cyber threats so that participants can conduct secure practice and test their cyber security skills. The exercise is created in a high-speed, gamified environment. Over 100 experts from various government agencies and defense sectors are participating in this exercise. A key part of the exercise is a special conclave for Chief Information Security Officers, where cybersecurity experts conduct talks and an immersive tabletop exercise. The aim of such exercises is to promote a security-conscious culture and strengthen India's cybersecurity infrastructure. The Defense Cyber Agency has stated that such exercises will ensure continuous updates to the country's cybersecurity readiness and help tackle emerging risks. This exercise is a crucial step in strengthening India's cybersecurity framework and making Digital India safer by developing robust defense capabilities against cyber attacks in the country. Recently, Union Home Minister Amit Shah launched 3 key technology platforms aimed at improving the speed and precision of disaster management agencies in India. These platforms include the Integrated Control Room for Emergency Response, the National Database for Emergency Management LITE 2.0, and the Flood Hazard Zonation Atlas of Assam. The ICR-ER platform will provide real-time responses to disasters across the country by streamlining satellite data to rescue agencies. The NDEM LITE 2.0 platform will enhance the speed of disaster management forces, enabling them to respond swiftly to any disaster. The Flood Hazard Zonation Atlas of Assam will guide flood control officials by providing real-time data on floods, their impact, and the river water levels, helping in flood mitigation efforts. Disasters are generally classified into natural and man-made disasters. Natural disasters are destructive events caused by the forces of nature, such as floods, earthquakes, droughts, and storms. Man-made disasters, on the other hand, result from technological or human risk, such as wars, civil unrest, stampedes, fires, transportation accidents, industrial accidents, conflict, oil spills, terrorist attacks, and nuclear explosions or radiation. In India, disaster management is legally regulated under the Disaster Management Act of 2005. Let's take a look at 5 questions related to the news. On the go, let's take a glance at some small but important news. Question 1. Consider the following statements with respect to UAV Rudrastra. 1. It is a manned aerial vehicle. 2. It has been developed by Solar Aerospace and Defense Limited. 3. It is a hybrid vertical takeoff and landing drone. How many of the above statements is or are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None of these. Question 2. Consider the following statements with respect to Cyprus. A. It is an island country located in the western Mediterranean Sea. B. It is located south of Turkey, west of Syria, and northwest of Israel. C. Its most famous city, Varosha, is under the control of Turkey. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None of these. Question 3. Consider the following statements with respect to the International Big Cat Alliance. 1. Its first meeting was held in New Delhi. 2. Bhupender Yadav has been approved as its president. 3. This alliance was started in 2023. How many of the above statements is or are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None of these. Question 4. Consider the following statements with respect to the second monthly periodic labor force survey report. 1. It has been released by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. 2. According to it, there was a decrease in the unemployment data for India in May 2025. 3. The unemployment rate for women in the country decreased from 5.8% in April to 5% in May. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None of these. Question 5. Consider the following statements with respect to Spartius carigari. A. It is a new species of spider. B. It is named after Elephant Hill. C. The spiders of this species belong to the Salticidae family. How many of the above statements is or are incorrect? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None of these. Provide your answers in the comments section. Recently, Lucknow was nominated as a UNESCO Creative City of Gastronomy. This nomination was made to recognize the city's rich culinary heritage, especially the Awadhi cuisine, on an international level. If selected, Lucknow will become one of the few cities in India to gain global recognition for its food culture. So far, only the city of Hyderabad has been included in the Creative City of Gastronomy. It is worth mentioning that the UNESCO Creative Cities Network was established in 2004. This network acknowledges culture and creativity as driving elements for sustainable urban development. Recently, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced that Blaise Maitreveli has been appointed as the new head of MI6. This is the first time in MI6's 116-year history that a woman has been appointed to this top position. Blaise Maitreveli is currently the Director General of MI6's Q section. She has also served in a director-level role in MI5, the United Kingdom's domestic intelligence service. It is noteworthy that MI6 is Britain's foreign intelligence agency, established in 1909 to monitor German espionage activities. Recently, the Government of India launched the Dharti Abba Jan Bhagidari Abhiyan, a large-scale nationwide benefits saturation campaign. This campaign was initiated for inclusive governance and tribal empowerment. Under this campaign, a large number of villages and settlements in 549 tribal-dominated districts and 207 particularly vulnerable tribal group-dominated districts are being covered. Benefit saturation camps are being organized at the village and settlement level to provide access to important rights and government services. These services include Aadhaar card enrollment and updates, Ayushman Bharat health card issuance, and opening Jan Dhan bank accounts. On June 17, World Crocodile Day was celebrated. This day is particularly observed to raise awareness and promote conservation of crocodiles and other reptiles like gharials and alligators. It is notable that the Government of India launched the Crocodile Conservation Project on April 1, 1975. Odisha is leading in crocodile conservation efforts in India and is home to wild populations of all three crocodilian species, the gharial, the magar, and the saltwater crocodile. Saltwater crocodiles are found in Bhitarkanika, gharials in Mahanadi, and magars in the Chambal River Valley. Recently, the QS World University Ranking 2026 was released. In this ranking, IIT Delhi secured the 123rd position, making it the highest ranked Indian institution. A total of 54 Indian universities and institutions succeeded in making it to this prestigious list. IIT Bombay is ranked 129th this year. It is worth mentioning that the Massachusetts Institute of Technology once again secured the top position in the QS World University ranking, followed by Imperial College London and Stanford University in second and third places respectively. Recently, the World Economic Forum released the Global Gender Gap Index 2025. In this index, India ranked 131st out of 148 countries, down from 129th in 2024, with a gender equality score of 64.1%. The report assesses gender equality across 4 key dimensions in 148 countries. In the 2025 index, Iceland, Finland, and Norway ranked first, second, and third respectively. This report, which has been published annually since 2006, is the oldest global index for assessing gender equality. Recently, Goa's Ozo Feni was granted the GI tag, making it the first Feni in India to receive this status. This GI tag now gives it a new global identity. Feni is a traditional alcohol of Goa made by fermenting cashew or coconut juice and double distilling it. The taste is unique and the artisans who make Feni are known as bhatikar. In this method, cashew juice is fermented for 72 hours and then distilled twice. Recently, the World Bank Group released the State and Trends of Carbon Pricing 2025 report. According to the report, the number of operational carbon pricing instruments has increased. This number, which was 5 in 2005, has now risen to 80. India, Brazil, and Turkey are actively developing these instruments. Currently, carbon pricing covers over 28% of global greenhouse gas emissions. The report includes 43 carbon taxes and 37 emission trading systems. In 2024, emission trading systems and carbon taxes generated more than $100 billion in public revenues globally.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.